Let's get the latest now on the conviction of military veteran David Holden, who's been found guilty of the manslaughter of Aidan McAnespie. He was shot in the back at an army checkpoint in Northern Ireland in 1988. We can cross live to Belfast and speak to GBNews Northern Ireland reporter Dougie Beattie.
Yes, 52-year-old ex-guardsman David Holden has been found guilty of manslaughter. Judge Justice O'Hara said he found Holden's evidence incoherent and inconsistent. The whole case focused around events in 1988 at the Ochnacloy border checkpoint in County Tyrone. Aidan McAnespie was shot dead when a bullet ricocheted off the ground, hitting Mr McAnespie. The wound was indeed fatal. Mr Holden said that his weapon had fired accidentally. Mr O'Hara said that he had definitely given a false account of what had happened, and he found him guilty. Outside the court, Mr McAnespie's family had this to say.
Welcome to today's ruling from Justice O'Hara. It's a day of mixed emotions, obviously, for the family. We're thinking primarily of Aidan. We're thinking of Eilish, who for the first 20 years of the campaign led the charge, and probably at the cost of her own health. We think of Lizzie, and we think of John today. People that are really, really affected by the shooting of Aidan McAnespie at Ochnacloy. Some people will wonder, why do families persist for 34 years following cases this old? Well, it's very clear. And John, Aidan's father, the day that the PPS announced that David Holden was going to be prosecuted, he said that the only demand that he has is that he hears the truth. Because as a family and local community from that area, we did not believe the version of events that David Holden or the British government put out at the time of Aidan's shooting.
Well, this is a very controversial ruling because it's the first soldier to be sentenced since 1988, the signing of the Good Friday Agreement. Of course, the IRA were given letters of comfort by Tony Blair and Queen's Pardons of Mercy, so it's very, very hard to get terrorists into court. And of course, the British veterans have been very, very opposed to these cases being brought forward. This was one of 6 recent cases. 2 were thrown out of court, 1 was brought back. Dennis Hutchins, of course, very sadly died while on trial, and this one is the only one that has ever seen conviction. So it is expected that the veterans will appeal this ruling in the Supreme Court.